Blessed be the name of the Lord Jesus the Christ. This is going to be a very short video. I was in the shower thinking about the fact that it is an outright disgrace and shame that there are no monasteries for non-Catholics. Not everyone is called to be married. Not everyone is called to work a civil job. What I mean by that is a job that is outside of the work of the Lord. And for those like myself who are called to only serve God 24/7 and to have a life totally set apart to God, there is no place for us. So I'm in the situation where I am now, where I move from wherever it is I can stay for time to time, and the environment is never totally an environment where I can truly hear God's voice, where there are all external distractions removed. Do I spend too much time on the internet and watching too many videos and things like that on YouTube? Yes, but it's the only way I can keep my mind at least somehow focused on Jesus Christ. Wherever I am, people want to watch TV. And when I would make it clear that, oh, it's not of God and so on and so forth, I would be made to feel like somewhat of an outcast as far as I'm concerned. They would be upset. Whether they say it or not, you can just feel it, you can see it. They would feel upset like, oh, he's trying to be holy and righteous and it's really not that serious. And so sometimes when you see me making a lot of these videos, having to explain the mistakes in my, theological beliefs and things like that, it's very hard for me because people love to hear that, oh, see, he was wrong again. Because anything that they're doing that they should not do, that is not right, then it makes them feel better. It makes them feel like, see, he's trying to do all of this, and oh, he can't listen to anything that's not Christian music, and he has all this revelation from God, but look how many times he's been wrong. And that goes for the TV, that goes for the non-Christian music, that goes for many different things that people that are in their lives. I explained to my father that you can do all the rebuking and binding you want when you're living in someone else's house. You're not the head of household, especially if you're living in a house where there's a married man. He's the head of household, and if he's not the one rebuking and binding, he's the one inviting due to ignorance or stubbornness or lack of faith or whatever the reason. You can keep the demons out of your immediate atmosphere, but there's not much else you can do. And then the people themselves become agitated and they don't know why, but it's because the demons in them that are agitated. Because when they come into the room where you stay and you have created an atmosphere where whatever is demonic has to leave that specific room, the people can come, oh, come eat. Oh, can you come upstairs for a minute? Oh, can you? And they're going to feel it. And then a lot of times they're drawn to it. And they come and they want to engage in worldly conversation. And because we're still in the flesh, I can gossip with the best of them. You see what I'm saying? And so it puts you in a place where you can never break through and get to the place where God would have you to be. The place where you are taking your own trips to heaven and seeing angels more often and all of those types of things. Most people don't want to go there, or they want to go there, but they know what it's going to cost and they're not willing. And so deep down inside, there's some devilment in them, some evil, some wickedness where it is they don't really want you to get there. So unfortunately, there is no place, as I said, a non-Catholic monastery, because that's what monasteries are for. That's why the Bible had a school of the prophets, and you hear about the sons of the prophets. There's no school for prophets. You can do online schooling and colleges and pay. Money, money, money. It's a business, a den of thieves. Go get all these degrees and all of these licenses and then come to our church, get some regular civil job, be somewhat lukewarm to a degree, and pay as much tithes and offerings as possible. Whereas the Catholic Church, they have a place where you can really set your life apart to God. But they do things like make you lay down. I just read an article about a man was explaining how they would have him lay down at the door so all the priests can walk over them, and they will beat themselves so that they can lessen their time in purgatory. That's a false doctrine. And you have no business beating yourself. Now you see why the Muslims do it, because I have said before, and I will say it again, the Muslim religion was created by the Catholic Church. They sent one of their Jesuit spies in who used his cousin's husband, and indoctrinated and bewitched him. The Lord has revealed to me they were doing witchcraft, which is why when Muhammad first received his dreams, he said that he believed they were demonic, and they lied to him and told him that they were not demonic. And but the reason he's in hell now is because he wanted to be Jesus. He wanted the fame. He wanted to be so holy and righteous and adored like some sort of a god. Someone, oh, he's just so pure and so wonderful and so everything, because he saw that people were doing this for Jesus. And he learned about the Jews and he learned about the Christians when he was traveling and doing whatever little jobs he had. At some point, he was herding goats, and it was believed that his family was wealthy and did some of the rituals and took and ran the whole thing that was going on in Mecca. But then somehow he became poor and went to go live with another family member, whatever the case may be. Married this old lady who was rich, had been married before. I say old, I think she was about 40. Actually, he was probably 20 from what I understand. And he went out working for her and doing all of these things and learning some things, and then became indoctrinated by her cousin or uncle, who was a Catholic priest, and as far as I'm concerned, probably a Jesuit, who told him all types of lies, who interpreted his dreams for him and wrote down his dreams for him because he himself was illiterate. So that cousin was writing down things, and then later he had other people to write down things for him. And in the way the language was written, because of the markings were not correct, it could have been translated to mean almost anything. This has been proven by the oldest Quran they ever found. You can translate it to almost say anything because the markings and things were incorrect. And that was after they had already been changed. They had removed the letters through some ancient form of writing out. I don't even know how you would do that, but of course, because these people do sorcery, pharmacy or sorcery is not so much just magic, because it deals also with the physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. So who knows how they did it, but they did it. But through modern technology, they was able to see what was originally written, but what was originally written could have been translated to mean anything. Everything that he was taught was just, that was good, was borrowed from Judaism. And then a lot of the crap that they do, like I said, beating themselves, it comes from the Catholic Church, the types of things you see in the monastery. So I went to this one place where someone else had this same question: where can I find a non-Catholic monastery to join? And the answers are absolutely appalling. One person said, oh, well, you should join, there's a more progressive liberal church would be the Episcopalian. They recently ordained an openly gay bishop. He didn't ask where could he go, where was a brothel he could join. I can tell you what some of those are. That's not what we're asking. It's filth. And there is such a thing as an Episcopalian monk. Explore their website. It's really informative. Nobody wants to go gallivanting around. Jesus the Christ. And then someone else said, well, any Protestant church would be a non-Catholic. Duh. Someone else said, try the Orthodox or the Anglican Church. The Orthodox and Anglican Church, the Orthodox Church is just like the Catholic Church with all these rituals, and they venerate Mary and all of this stuff. So I just wanted to say I thought it was horrible that there is no real school of the prophets where a man of God can go and live his life separated from God. The Catholic Church has so much money. They're able to do. Now, these people live very poor. You wear a uniform because it's cheap. Wash it out by hand. Wear it every day. Oh, well. You might have a couple of pair of pants, a couple of shirts, or a pair of shoes for when you're out in your regular, because you have some that will probably go out, and then you have some that just don't even leave the building. Like you have some of those nuns don't even leave the building, you know. And that's fine. You can't be forbidding people to marry because that's against the will of God. But even if and of course, if you're going to have a wife, then I don't think that you're really called to something like that, though, because you have to take care of your wife and children, unless your wife is going to also be called to something like that. But then that would mean you would have to have no children. So, but if you're going to have a wife and child, then that would make things a little bit more complicated. It would make things a little more complicated, and I would suggest that you probably don't so much, take that route. Even still, you see, and there were Old Testament prophets and things who had wives, and who knows what their jobs were. For some of them, I don't see what was written. I don't see anything written about anything like that concerning their lives, for the most part. So, they take vows of poverty and things like that. Okay. Why are there no non-Catholic monasteries? I will be back for more topics later. God bless you. If you do not know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you're running out of time.